What's up, everybody? I haven't spoken all day, so you'll have to forgive me. That was the first time I've said words today. I just want to make sure everybody can hear me well, can see me. I'm going to make sure I have the chat enabled for everybody here. So let me know if I sound like a robot today, or if I sound like quiet or anything like that. I should sound good today. You guys let me know. Alright, see if I see anybody in here. Let me go to the Facebook page real quick and update that. Alright, there it is. Anyone? Hello? Hello? Let's see. Alright, I see some eyes. Okay, cool. So I get started. It has been it's been a little while. I spent some time on this guy since the last time you saw him. Working on Trapjaw. Hey, what's up, Igor? Frank, what's going on? So let me just open up my, as I always do, I'll start with, let me know if the music is too loud too. Like, this is my first time trying music in the stream, but it kind of breaks up the boredom. So, what's up, Dan Sladovsky? What's going on? What is up? 111. All right. So, yo, what is up, Flossie Hova? All right, cool. So, yeah, since the last time I was in here, you can see I've worked on pretty much everything. His pants. It's too loud. All right, I'll turn it down a little bit. Turn down a little bit, not a lot. A little bit. All right. Yeah, worked on the pants. Worked on his body a little more. The actual Trapjaw piece, his face. I made these parts of his pants here and the boots. And if we go to our, let's go to our reference. Rave party, yeah, you know it, you know it. Still loud? All right. Well, it's close to this, to the microphone. Let me move it back. Yeah, if I turn it down anymore, it is off. So I can't turn it down much more. Wait, you know what? Let's get this right. I want to make you guys happy here. Let's see. Turn it. Alright. Let's see. Alright, Flossy, is that better for you? Let me know. Jeremy, Patricio, what's up? And hello. Okay. What's going on? Alright, well, hell with it. I'll cut it off. See, this is why we can't have nice things, guys. Music is off now. Thank Flossie Hova. Party is done. 3 hours of just my voice, so you're welcome. All right. Anyway, no, I'm just messing with you. So here is here's a guy from Masters of the Universe. You guys all know Trapjaw, and what I'm trying to do is just make him feel a little more like he would look if he was a sideshow character. All right. Hey, Kyle. Your voice is music to us. Okay. Well, since you put it that way. Yeah, so I'm just kind of figuring this out. There's some really cool, I found some cool artwork online. All right, if you didn't see any of the streams before. Yeah, I didn't want to get the echo, Kyle, so I was recording it through the microphone as well. But you know what? It's not that big a deal. I'll worry about it later. Yeah, so some cool different versions of him, and I want to take a little bit from all of these guys, right? There's things about all these guys that I like. I'm playing around with the idea of using the pincher instead of the claw for his arm here. All right, let me move this guy back up. Just a whole lot of good stuff to choose from. So blocked in everything, right? The everything is pretty much just a block in at this point. Today we're just going to detail basically, and the biggest issue that I had was his face was really what's up, Lance? His face was really not good before. All right, so I didn't know you could do that. All right, cool. You can put notes in PureRef. Did you know that? I didn't know that. That's cool. So you can make notations on your artwork, or your pictures rather. All right, so I'm going to see if I have an old version of this on here. I don't, but I'm going to load one in real quick, show you just how easy it is. Let's hide ZBrush. Let's go over to this folder. Let me put it over here because I got some client stuff on here too. I think this is the one. Yeah, so this is kind of where I was at the end of the last. I'll put it over here. Yeah, at the end of the last stream I was kind of here. All right, how many polygons does this model have? I'll tell you. Right now it is pretty big because I'm detailing the skin and this fur, so it's 19 million. But when that's only because I just subdivided him, right? Before I think I had a total of like 3 million polys, which really shouldn't be that big of a deal on your laptop unless it's, you don't have a lot of RAM. It shouldn't be that big of a deal, right? But if I go into let's make this larger. I really wasn't happy with his face before, so I have some new reference, right? I was looking at some Walking Dead stuff. I was looking at some of these sculptures that I found online, some really good art, right? Just to show some of the forms. I really like the protruding cheekbones, so I kind of incorporated it into him. And of course the the eyes with like the cataracts over them is pretty dope. So this was where I originally was kind of leaning into it, and I like the sutures on him, the holes. You can see that I boosted that for my guy. So now that I flip this around here, a really good starting place would be his hand, because it's really kind of loose right now. All right, so let's bring this guy up. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, if you have a good GPU, it's definitely going to help you out. What's up, a 10 of slug? Am I getting Facebook chat in here too? No, that's on Facebook. Let's go over here and see what these guys are talking about. Hey, thanks, man. Spicer, what's up, dude? Yo, that Batman is looking good, brother. I just checked you out on Instagram. All right, so let's get into detailing the hand a little more, right? I'm just going to isolate that and start. How do I do that? Let's start by just selecting the hand. Let's solo this out, turn off perspective. Alright, and you can see it's still real soft. I haven't detailed this at all. And I think I saw some good hand reference and put it in here last time. Search around on here. Let's look at this guy's hand to start. lower the resolution on this guy because there's no need for it to be this high. Right. Maybe one more subdivision. Turning down the intensity on my blur brush. I used to have it set up so that I started with a lower intensity, and then on this new computer I forgot how to do that. I got to reset that up. So just using the damn standard to cut in some of these lines, and it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to fix it later. The thing I was thinking about as I was detailing this guy is, and I do this every time, like I spend all this time kind of detailing him in the A pose, and when I actually pose him, a lot of that stuff gets lost, right? So the straps that I have on him, buckles and all that, like that's all going to get deformed. Maybe not the buckles, but the straps definitely going to get deformed. The stitching is going to probably have to be thrown away and restarted once I pose them. And so it's kind of, you know, even if I have them at a low res, which right now I'm going to have to ZRemesh this guy because somewhere along the way I lost my lower subdivision levels, and this is still super high, right? Like I want it lower than this when I pose him, just because I don't want it to get wobbly, right? Let's see what is up. Back ends the, oh, I see what you did there, Hannibal. Thank you, sir. Little PE references, definitely appreciated on the stream. So, and I'll keep it pretty low. Hannibal was actually one of my students in my ZBrush classroom, or not ZBrush class, the ZBrush Workshops class for Ryan, and he knows that I like to keep the topology really low until I need to subdivide, right? So this guy's hands right now are looking very human. When I'm done with it, they're going to be much more kind of like monstery. Probably go crazy on the nails. But for now, let's base it in reality. Doing well, man. How are you? What's up, pro? What do I use for the references? This is pure ref. It is free. You can get it for Mac or PC. It's really nice. I use it all the time. Let's see what else we got here. And I'm going to pose his hand, so it really, again, doesn't have to be full on detailed here. What else? I thought I had a hand on here somewhere. Let me make this larger. Let's see what's up. And I usually make one of these boards. I have a ton of reference, both from Pinterest and personal collections. I use, what's it called? I got these guys here from, I know you guys know this. It's Anatomy for the Artist, Human Anatomy for the Art. What's it called? Like 3D SK, right? So they have really good sets, and it's just like a monthly fee, and you can go in and get those, right? But I'm going to now, till I figure out what I'm going to do with the hand. Let's get back on the jaw. Yep, 3D SK. Thanks, man. All right. So this jaw, before, when I had it, I really didn't know what I was going to do. I just kind of, this isn't even the one. I had like the teeth just inset in it. I want to go full on with the teeth. So I think what I'm going to do here is start to detail it. I was talking to my friend Jerry last night, who gave me some really good suggestions about cutting in some details. So I believe I will clone this. Right. I'm going to split the teeth from the jaw, and this is all Z modeler, right? So super low. Split hidden. Right, super low. If I turn off dynamic, you can see how low this resolution is. Right, really low. And I think I'm going to let's turn off the material just by clicking the paintbrush so I can see what's up. How does, all right, so the music was loud, but how does the how's my voice sound? Do I sound like a robot again today? Because I don't want that. I also want you guys to be able to hear me. Cool, thanks. What's up, side effects? Thank you, Pro. You guys, you must want something. Yes. All right. Alright, so I like the general shape of these teeth. Still not exactly sure what I'm going to do with them, but I did see some cool treatments here. Obviously, when you're looking at the cartoon, there's no way that this thing works because his jaw isn't shaped like that. I mean, in real life, he couldn't rock that. So I think what I did was I have my jaw kind of as a underbite, right? So underbite where the jaw is out, comes over his top teeth. This one's fresh. But I saw one, okay, this guy. I like some of the stuff that's going on here, actually. This is a guy, Dan Baker, did this. Alright, so let's turn off that. This cosplay guy is good too. He's pretty fresh. So what I am going to do is duplicate the jaw just so I can play around with it. I'm also going to make a morph target. So duplicate that. Let's turn off that one. Turn off dynamic. All right, let's apply. We're just going to apply the subdivisions now, so I can go down and still have them higher. I don't really need anything lower than that, so I'll delete the lowest one. Delete lowest. I didn't want to delete the higher. All right, cool. So now I can go and store a morph target. Right, and if I go in and mess around here and decide I don't like it, I can just switch back to the original. Let's turn on some symmetry, turn up the intensity of this. Actually, I don't want to use the damn standard, I want to use the slash. Slash, yeah. Let's delete this a couple more times. Not delete, divide this a couple more times. Maybe one more time, that's good. Okay, just turn on my lazy mouse. Maybe divide it a couple more times. What am I up to now? Alright, that's 2 million, that's really high, but let's see what it looks like. Ooh, that's like butter right there. Alright, that'll work. Delete higher. Let's see. Take it on. Yeah, you know what? You're right. You're right. So let's what Boiled Spud just pointed out is because I subdivided one more time, I lost my stored morph target. So I'm just going to delete it and store it again. Right, and so now I have it. It's a good call out. And I just want to, this is real, it's going to be very, okay, that's too deep. I don't want that. Let's try damn standard. Yeah, this is going to be just to see what, to play around to see what this looks like. Let's go this way. I just want to get an idea of what I'm going to do here. So I'm not sure, but I just want to detail some areas here. And again, this is just a sketch, right? This doesn't mean anything. Let's just see something real quick. And again, this is all just sketching, right? This doesn't really mean anything at this point. Just trying to see what some of these details would look like, just to break it up. And I generally like things much cleaner, so at this point it's starting to look a little organic, which I don't like. So let's ditch that idea. Let's see, morph target. All right, let's sketch something else here. I do want to kind of play on gums, right? Just see what that looks like. Keyboard tablet combo. Hey, thanks, side effects. Let's see what a little pinch does here. So I'm by no means a hard surface guy, but I like to play around with the H polish and the pinch just to kind of see what that would look like. I need to be careful at the top because I don't have a lot of resolution there. Try some like insert meshes and stuff like that. Let's see. All right, so let's do this. I want to see what it looks like on him, so I'm going to copy these. I will get rid of the first jaw. I don't need that. Duplicate this. This takes you back, Marcos? Cool. And duplicate this one. I'm just going to merge these. Merge down. Alright, solo it. And let's just see what it looks like on the original guy. Nah, I don't like that. Looks more like dragon teeth or something. Alright. Well, the good news is I spent 4 minutes on it. Alright, let's delete that. So I'm going to do what I originally had in mind, which was to take the original, go back to my morph target, undo this. Am I on the right thing? Subtool. I am on the right thing. Did I? Oh, because I. There you go. Morph target. Yeah, if you jump up and down in subdivision levels, you'll the morph target will disappear. Okay. All right. No big deal. I should have cleared the other one before. It's all good. Let's go back to this one. Take the original jaw. Copy and paste. Delete this. Split those teeth off. Onto this. Delete hidden. Okay. And apply dynamic. Alright, so now what I can do is I want to do a Boolean operation and put these together, but before I do, I just want to kind of clean up some of these areas, even though you're not really going to see them. So let's see. Let's do the clay build-up. Make sure I have my backface masking turned on. Alright, and I'm just doing this so that if I do decide to do a 3D print of this, I don't have any like really weird undercuts. Just smooth all this out later. In fact, rather than doing that, maybe I will just Dynamesh and ZRemesh it. That might be the way to go, since I have some pockets in here. So let's do that. Let's Dynamesh, yes. Oh, wait a minute. Delete lower. Okay, it's too thin in some of these areas, so let's fill those in. Make sure I have my symmetry turned on. smooth. Actually, let me turn up the resolution way back down. I don't want it to be 128. Polish, got the blur, and just make sure these tops aren't too thin. Okay. What I'm really concerned about with this is the outside anyway. I'm going to add these teeth in a second here. Alright, so let's get the teeth in as well. Duplicate, just in case. I'm going to just duplicate these and then put them together. Merge down, up. Glad I made a copy of the teeth. I didn't apply the subdivisions. Alright, now merge down. Okay. You know what? I will use the Boolean operations instead. Sorry. Alright, so turn on live Boolean, and now I'll just make a Boolean mesh. Alright, so there's a unified jaw right there. And if I turn on my, good lord. Is it Dynameshed? Yeah, it must be Dynameshed. Well, that's ugly as hell. Let's just ZRemesh it. Double strength ZRemesh. Let that go. Drink some coffee. Tony Leonard, what's up, dude? Mark Newman, what's going on, man? Juan, how are you? All right, let's see. I got some stuff over here. What are you talking about? Turn out the alpha builder place. All right, that is much better. So now I can come in with my polish and just kind of hit some of these points. Do I have, make sure I have symmetry turned on? So I'm softening these now, but I might come back in and find some planes. Kind of give it more of a geometric shape here. And the other thing too is I want the metal to look like it's been kind of just forged. So I'm gonna have, like, I don't want it to be super crispy. I want it to be kind of dinged and stuff. I'm gonna use some brushes and alphas later on to really sell that look. But I like the idea of not having a very, milled look to this thing. It's supposed to look like somebody made it in Forge or something like that. Maybe Man-at-Arms. Just kidding. It's a show that I like to watch where they make cool stuff. And he's also on He-Man, so see what I did there. It's one of those things where I'll know what I like when I see it. There's a reason I've saved the jaw until really late in the game. The arm too, like I literally have no idea what I'm gonna do with this arm. Let's see something here. Let's give this guy some, let's see what I can do here. I don't like that. let's just take this and see what it looks like on the guy. Copy him. All right. Let's see. Pinch, pinch, pinch. That's in the way. Let's move that over here. All right, so once I find an aesthetic for the jaw, then I can kind of apply that to the helmet as well. Just looking for it. Still looking for it. I'll know it when I see it. Let's see. Okay. me get a little bit of a plane change here. This is where the music would have helped. It's very quiet. You guys just couldn't play ball. All right, let's see. Okay, that's all right. Love how the alpha always shows up under the image. We can see your email notifications. Okay. Thanks for the heads up. I'm waiting on that one from that Nigerian prince. Any day now. I'm telling you, you give it all up and retire. All right, turn this up a little bit. Just got to find the shape of what I want to do here. I don't really like this. Now would be a good time to make a morph target. Let's try this. Color turned on? Yep. Make sure you don't have your RGB turned on when you're sculpting this stuff, or else you're going to have to go in and fill it over again. do that? Oh, wrong button. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. I went through all that, and I like the original one best, but I got it out of my system, so I'm just going to stick with that one for now. And I know what I can do. Let's get this crossbone on his chest, on his belt here. I had originally taken an actual, it's like a base mesh of a skeleton and used it. I don't like that. So I'm just going to sculpt something real quick. Look at Skeletor's skull, how about that? And I think it's also kind of thin, so I'll cover up my thing here. The Nigerian prince. No, don't tell me he's talking to you too. I gotta move on this fast. All right. Yeah, this thing is a mess. So this was just originally like a full skull thing that was it's got a lot of detail that I'm never going to need. So I'm just going to resculpt it. Okay, I'll do that. Yeah, and I don't need these individual teeth. That's kind of are those on their own thing? Is that all I got? Yeah, I don't need these. Delete. Back to the skull. And duplicate. I'm going to change this into a cylinder. Just use my Z modeler and make it into a bone real quick. So I'm going to want the bone about there. Oops. Trombone, yeah, just a quick bone. Let's see what this looks like. See if I can get this thing to conform to the shape of the belt a little bit. And I want to duplicate this and just mirror it. Multiple subdivision level. Okay, let's get it to the highest. And delete lower. And mirror. Alright, take this one up. Okay. Maybe rotate one of these so they don't look so uniform. That's which one? Which one is this? This one. Okay, turn off Boolean for a second. It'd be easier if I just do it with the move tool. to, let's see, skull and crossbones. Any photos, images? Well, like the skull. Let's take this. Well, that's tiny. Nope. Let's see. Open image, new tab. Oh man, that is so small. All right. Tools, size, large. Oh my god. Alright, these are tiny. Open image, new tab. Sorry guys, bear with me a second here. Oh, this is fresh. You know what? What about this? It's like a cyclops skull. Huh, I like that. Alright, maybe I'll use that. Okay, and what do they use? The femur? Let me use a femur. Yeah, this is good. Alright, good enough. Let's go with these. Clay spin. What's Traptrell's damage? Is he undead cyber power guy? Can never make heads or tail? I don't know. You know what? I remember Trapjaw being a lot cooler than he actually was. I went back to YouTube and watched videos, and he's like the butt of every joke. He's like a clown. So, FYI, he's not as cool as you remember him. I should do like the fly swatter attachment for his arm. That'd be pretty cool. I think you swap out his robot hand in the big picture of the character. Since the face is a skull, how about using a cow skull for the bell? Yeah? A little big longhorn? His face isn't really a skull on mine, it's just like really kind of sunken in. You know? Crack is whack. Don't do drugs, you guys. Alright. Let's do this. Just have something to look at. Oh, sorry, Facebook. Well, you guys are talking about Discord. Alright, so if you missed last stream, I was super excited because I had a brand new PC, and it was the first PC I've ever had. And you can see it's right behind me. So I've had ups and downs with it. It's all been my doing, of course. I found out that the memory that I put in there originally wasn't specifically it wasn't on the list of memory that was supported by the Ryzen board that I bought, so I wasn't able to get the full speed out of it. So I just ordered some new RAM that should be coming today, actually, and I should be able to see some speed performance. But I got to tell you, it's a heck of a lot faster than my old Mac, which was 10 years old, but you know, so of course, but it's pretty sweet. And I put some games on here, so now I'm kind of a convert to as long as I can use my Xbox controller, I'm good. Alright, I don't want to spend forever on this. Let's just clean up this one part. Oops, clay spin. Thinking about the belt across the strut, don't think it can form a little bit too much to the body. I guess it would be more bridging across the valleys. Yeah, Martin, I did that because I'm going to be printing this, so I don't want to have gaps. You know what I mean? So yeah, they're like hugging them pretty tight. The other thing too that I was saying is that none of this is really going to matter because I need to pose him, and when I do, the belts are going to get screwed up. That's just the way it's going to be. So I'm going to have to redo them. What do I have selected? Wrong one. I want, well, let's see. Yeah, clay spin is in ZBrush. It's if you go to the shelf and look under your brushes, brush, and go to clay, it's going to be in here. I put mine on my permanent dock here, so it's probably not showing in here now, but that's where you find it. Switch to the PC this year too. It's been good. Actually, don't hate Windows. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Windows, but I do love the PC, so it is all good. And then I just saw that they might possibly go to charging like a monthly service fee to have Windows to get the updates and stuff, which I'm not feeling that. I don't know very many people that are. Alright, that looks like it, I didn't have backface masking on, and it did a little pinch here. So let's inflate this. And just dirty it up a little bit. Get rid of that other bone. Hey, what's up, Rohit? How you doing, man? Let's see, save as, save. I haven't saved in a while, so let's save it. I don't know if you noticed this, but my chair is an older chair, and the hydraulics tend to drop on their own, so I'm down here now. Let's see if I can fix it. I don't know if it's going to stay. I can't guarantee it. Look like someone is a purple fan on the computer. Yeah, that's my vibranium build, y'all. Get the vibranium purple in there. All right, let's get this skull together. And now I'm kind of digging this actually. But you know what? The cheekbones don't make sense. So, and that's going to bother me. Yeah, that's going to bother me. Let me get a regular skull. And I know ZBrush has like 1,000 skulls in it, but I just feel like sculpting a skull real quick. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. I like the idea of it being pitched back like that. Alright, here's just like generic skull. These are all so small, it's killing me. Oh, this is nice actually. Seriously. It's like one of those hyperlinks where you click on it and it just takes you to 50 different wallpaper pages. Gonna just pull it off. Nope. Well, let me have it. Give me that skull, dude. Alright, whatever. You know what? This is stupid. Ugh. I don't know why I'm stressing it. I'll use this. Oh, my interface. Yeah. Okay, so let's... How am I doing on time? 2:28. When is this over? 3, right? 1, 2, 3, 4? 4, right? 3? 1, 2, 3. When is this over? Kyle, let me know. I don't know if I'm doing a stream until 4 or 3 today. Tips or tricks, I would just say, like when I was learning ZBrush, I stayed on YouTube and I bought some books, but there's so much free information on the Pixelogic page and YouTube, and also go to you know, if you can find a Google Hangout where people are sculpting. You know, I started off on one called the ZBrush Hangout, and that was great for me because I met a lot of people who were just really good, and they were able to teach me, you know, things. So I would definitely suggest just, you know, going online and looking at stuff. Don't be afraid to ask people questions, and take advantage of the definitely take advantage of the live streams, because you got a wealth of free information on here, and there's a lot of people on here that are like big time guys, you know, and girls who are just females, women. Girls sounded real misogynistic. Yeah, that are just really at the top of their form, you know what I mean? So like, it's free. Take advantage of it. Is this a Dynamesh? Why is it so small? Let's see. Yeah, that's Dynamesh. Let's retopo this. Geometry, ZRemesher. That's better. Wondering why it was deforming so poorly. Oh, you know what else is amazing? So one of the streamers on here, let me see if I can find a link to it real quick. Hold on a second. Oh God, man, I'm spacing out. Sorry, give me a second. So I have something to look at. All right, so Danny Mac has links, or has he does these 60-second tutorials on YouTube on his page. Danny Mac YouTube, which are amazing. Like he breaks down all of these features of ZBrush, new ones, old ones, retopo, hair, all this stuff. Here, I'm going to put a link in the chat. That is, wait, I can't reply? Oh. Connect. No. Sorry guys. Where did the... Oh, come on, don't do this. Okay. Can I chat now? There it is. All right. Yeah. Here you go. Check out Danny Mac's page. It's got some really good stuff. Hey, Brad, what's up, man? Cool. Brad is one of those guys that has been helping me. Like, he's an amazing animator and sculptor, and this dude has helped me figure out just really how to push my poses. So if you'll notice, like if you look at some of my older stuff, the poses are not so good, and then they start to get more dynamic. That's when, you know, Brad was actually rigging the thing for me in Maya, and you know, sending me back a file, and then I would sculpt on top of it. And then after a while, he also teaches, so I don't always have access to him, so sometimes I have to figure it out on my own. He kind of taught me how to fish by not being around sometimes. And so that carnage that I did was, you know, just pushing the poses that Brad helped me figure out. So that's the thing. And I met this dude in the Hangout. Like everybody I know is from the Hangout, you know. So it's pretty sweet. Brad is also print master. He like prints everything. Yeah, Tony Leonard's another dude I met in the Hangout. Like he also streams. So whole lot of talent around if you wanna, if you're new to ZBrush, like you have access to these guys on Facebook and Instagram and all that. Just people will be really helpful. All right, let's push those bones back because they are in the way right now. I'm thinking I want to rotate this out. What are we at now? That's 24. Subdivide that a little bit more. What do I? That's the build up. I don't want build up. I want spin. Yeah, Madeline Spencer. Amazing. It's like, I mean, the roster on here is crazy. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many people on here that are really, really good. I can't even name them all. And like really cool people too. Like the first thing I did when ZBrush made me a streamer is I was able to reach out to people who I'd been buying their books or looking at their videos, and you know, Madeline Spencer, when I first got started, like some of those books were definitely the things that made me want to do this, you know, especially the poly painting. So, and I still use that technique. Portfolio and getting jobs started out. I'm not the guy to ask for that. I mean, I do a lot of sculpting. I've been trying to reach out to companies to get sculpting work. I'm an illustrator, right? So I sculpt for fun, basically. But you know, I'm still waiting. It's funny because I reached out to Joe Minna not that long ago. Joe put me down with DC Collectibles, and they actually got me in their system a year and a half, 2 years ago, and I'm still waiting on my first job. So I'm not the guy to ask about portfolios for sculpting. But it's cool because you know, I'm just getting more practice time. So if I do get a job with somebody like an XM or a Kotobukiya or somebody like that, I won't make a fool out of myself. Be ready to go. Alright, this is starting to look good. Maybe that skull could be bigger too. Let's do that. Let's make this a little bigger. Yeah, that's cool. I know what I can do. So I saved, these pants were not fun. I gotta tell you, I am not a big fan of sculpting hair or fur, but again, because I might print this, I decided that I was gonna sculpt rather than, you know, use like a hair, you know, like fiber mesh or something like that, right? So I've just been working on it back and forth, and what I end up doing with this is I'll just detail the crap out of an area, and then I don't know, somehow it gets smoothed, and I go on to like round 2 and then round 3 and then round 4 until finally I have something that I like, but I don't know how to stop, I think is what I'm trying to tell you. So I left this part up here, so I'm going to work on that next. I think. Some people make it so, I mean, they make it look really easy to get these forms, because I think it's, if you get some good big block forms of the hair, then you don't even have to do a lot of detailing. You know, it just comes out looking really good. But it's getting to that point where the plane changes look good, and it kind of starts to look like on the front, I think I stumbled into it. I don't know what I was doing, but this part in here looks really good to me. The part on the back is okay, but I spent a lot of time on it. I think the top is what I'm concerned about now, though. Let's solo this. And then I got these little rando pieces that are kind of floating around here. Take a few little screen grabs. Now I can work on the back. And somewhere I found some really good fur pants ref, like barbarian pants. Let me do a search for that. Let's see. Images. Fur, and let's do high res, size large. This is what I found. Open a new tab. Open image in new tab. Can I just drag and drop or copy? Copy. I got a feeling this is going to be huge. Paste. What? That's tiny. All right. Whatever. It's good though. I like that. Have friends should see this video, share it with them so they can watch it. Okay. I'm facing problems in making hairs. What's going on? What's your problem? How many hours do you work for your personal work? A lot. I mean, when I'm in between approvals for things, I usually will sculpt. So, I don't know, I'm at the computer. My wife would say I'm at the computer way too much. Let's put it that way. But a lot of hours, like the Carnage that I've been working on forever. I don't know, I have maybe like 50 hours in on it, 60 hours. What's up, Chris? Thank you, thank you. Greetings from France. I got some people from around the world, y'all. France, India. Glad to have you guys. Still need to figure out, I think, let's see, 1, 2, 3. 3, wait a minute, am I done at 3? I think I'm done at 3, you guys. 1, no, I started at 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I'm done at 4. Hey Kyle, let me know I think I'm done at 4. I don't want to step on the next streamer. But I think it's 4. You sound like Denzel Washington. Who, me? Nah, I don't sound like Denzel. If you'd say Carlton from The Fresh Prince, then I'd be like, yeah, I get that a lot. Everybody says that. No problem. Alright, so basic forms now. Let's see if I can get some cuts in here. So basically I just kind of drew in some shapes with the clay spin, and then used the /3 to get some deep cuts, just so I could define some of these shapes. And now I'm taking the H polish and defining those forms, and then I'm going to go in and sculpt on top of them to make them look like hair. So that's why I don't love doing this, because there's a lot of it's a long kind of process. Man, I saw Joe Menna working on an action figure one day, and he was just doing the hair on the head, and it was amazing. Like, you just, some people look like they just know exactly what the hell they're doing all the time, and Joe is that guy. I mean, he's been doing this a long time too. So, also very cool dude. But yeah, he was doing that hair. I think he was working on Magneto or something. I was just like, man, that looks so dope. Is the only thing about Pure Ref that kind of is a pain is that when I need to pull up one of these alphas or something, it's always right under the image. Let's try this one. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah, it's good. I could really stand another subdivision level on this. The thing is, if I divide it too much and I don't have, you know, the basic forms there, it's going to look just overworked and ugly. Like I'm looking at the front, these parts kind of down here, these whooshy areas, that's just keeping it low. So DaVinci 360, what's going on? Alright, so that's kind of what I'm looking for. Just build it up and cut it in until you find something that doesn't suck. Monstrama Dama Nerd, what's up, dude? How many earn a 3D artist like you per month? Well, I don't get paid to do this. I am a 2D illustrator. That's my profession. So that's I would like to get paid to do this. That'd be fun. But yeah, right now it's just for fun. I did just get commissioned to do a Colin Kaepernick for someone, so it's going to be my first paying gig. Solo, let's see what we got here. Okay, maybe snake hook a little bit of this. Do a little pinch, make these ends not quite so round. Alright, that's good enough. Make sure that that goes into his back, because right now it doesn't look like it's doing it. Dag, how deep is his? Alright. Clearly his back is too deep. Let's bring that out a little bit. Oops. You have to be careful with the symmetry because he's not symmetrical. I have run into all kinds of issues with the fact that I took his arm off too, because like I went into Maya and tried to retopo him, and he, because he's not symmetrical, I couldn't do it. Like moved him off the center pivot a little bit, just enough that I couldn't do a decent retopology on him. So I've learned if somebody's missing an appendage or something, like take it off after you're done with everything else. Alright, I did want to keep detailing his face a little bit. And originally I didn't have a chin on him, which is kind of how I wanted to look at the end, but it made it really difficult to figure out proportion without him having a chin. Like the forms on the face, all of the bony masses were all thrown out of whack because I didn't know. You kind of need that mandible to figure out where things are. $1 off coupon. Well, easy street. Alright, so I have some really good face reference on here. And you can see I got some issues in his mouth here. Maybe now's as good a time as any to fix them. Let's see. Isolate. There you go. Just isolate the inside of this mouth. Yeah. All kinds of pinching. Just because I really sketched the face when I made it, I didn't put a whole lot of thought into it. Kind of like when I was doing that jaw. It definitely helps to have a plan beforehand. Although I don't know, I see people like Ashley on here. She can just freestyle and come up with an awesome piece at the end of what she's doing. I'm one of those guys that I need to plan it out in advance, or else it's just a big mess. And it'll take twice as long. Oops, sorry about that. And it will take twice as long. I work for myself. I'm a freelance illustrator, and some of my clients are Marvel and Warner Brothers, Dimension Films. I do a lot of movie posters, toy packaging. I'm doing something for Hasbro now and Nike. So a lot of different guys. But I've been doing it a long time, so that's why my client list is what it is. Let's get the inside of the cheeks. Yeah, look at this. It's a mess. Mask out that part, jump down a little bit, and then soften this out. I don't know if his teeth are going to fit in here anymore, but we can fix that. Let's see. Let's hide this jaw because it's in the way. Okay. Yeah, clay spin is really nice because it leaves a subtle pattern, especially when you work at the lower subdivision levels, that kind of mimics that skin. So when you go later on to texture the skin, it's not it's a little less work actually. I have two of my friends turned me onto that. There's a guy named Odell and Tony Gore. Put me onto the clay spin. Those are their go-tos. Like Odell does work on the Flash and a whole bunch of other stuff that I can't talk about, but yeah, he's a baller. Still don't know whether I'm going to keep this lower jaw or not, but it helps for now. It's good to have this because I can like just kind of look at where the bones are underneath of the skin. It helps. In addition to having this, you know, really awesome piece right next to me. This picture. Yeah, I think the reason that I like ZBrush so much is it's basically like you're drawing the sculpture. You know, like I've been a traditional illustrator for a long time, and then got into digital illustration, and especially having, you know, a really nice Wacom Cintiq, I'm able to paint right on the screen, and you know, you're just painting the clay basically, which is really nice. Like, I enjoy it so much, I actually went out and bought monster clay and started sculpting, you know, outside of the computer. What's up, Frying Pan? Nice pickles. What time is it? 3:08. All right, I'm 99% sure that I'm done at 4, but I just want to make sure. Since I'm not hearing back from Kyle. And I want to have his helmet look, you know, like it he doesn't take it off, you know, so much so that the skin is kind of just formed up around it and started to pucker. Yeah, I think Frankenstein is kind of a good reference for who this guy is. This is personal, yeah, not client work. Turn off the symmetry. What if he has an itch? He's always itchy. I don't know what that means. Do you design your own characters? No, no. Most of what I do is just licensed characters. I'm a big comic fan. And the whole reason I started using ZBrush in the first place was I like to collect statues. You know what I mean? So, like, I have a I was getting in trouble with the wife for buying sideshow stuff all the time. So I was like, oh, you know what? I'm going to learn how to sculpt, and then I'm going to make my own stuff, and then I'm going to 3D print it, and that's going to be cheaper. And then I found out that it's not cheaper to print your own stuff. I mean, if you happen to own a Form 2 or know somebody that has one and you're just paying for the resin, then that's one thing. But then you have to, you know, learn how to cut it and everything. So, and there's a chance you're going to mess it up and waste resin. So I was like, oh man. So what I'm hoping is one day somebody from XM or Prime One or Sideshow or somebody will just happen to be flipping through the Pixelogic page and see me working on something and say, you know what, I want to give this guy a job working on something, and then I can make it and they'll send me one. It's a really long, convoluted way of getting free stuff. That's the plan anyway. Still waiting for it to pan out. Alright, so if you're noticing that he has like a baby smooth chest, it's because for some reason I made his pecs way too small. Like they just were flat. So I went in last night and kind of reformed them, and I haven't textured them yet. I mean, this whole texturing thing is, like I said, it's kind of a, you know, an exercise in futility, because when I do pose him, more than likely I'm going to have to add all this back later on. So it is what it is. We can add a little bit to the pecs though. Let's make those a little less. Oh man. Alright, so my buddy Brad is getting his Grassetti Wolverine on Friday, and I gotta smile because that Grassetti Wolverine and Daniel Bell's Captain America, and Brad, who did that Thor? Did we ever figure out who did that Thor? There's a Thor that now Sideshow is pre-ordering, are literally my favorite statues of all time. And not to give away too much information, but instead of having to worry about sending kids to college, Brad has cats, so he can get a lot of really cool stuff. And I'm living vicariously through my friend Brad. So, hey, thanks, Lance. Zitroller, what's up? How did I texture the rest of the body? Alright, that's a great question. Pablo Munez makes these brushes that he has on ZBrush. Crap, hold on a second. Let's type it in here. Muna, I'm butchering his last name, I know, I'm sorry. ZBrush guides, alright, so I'm going to put a link in the chat. They are free, and they're really good. Oh, you know what, I haven't saved in my... Let me save this real quick, I don't want to lose it. Save. Yes. Alright, so Pablo has ZBrush guides on his page. He has... he has these double action skin brushes that are amazing. Like they do this, all of this kind of, let's do some. You know what, let me just show you, it's easier to show you. He's a beast. Brushes. Pablo. right, so here's one for burnt skin. This is really dope. Let's see. All right, what did Brad say? Yeah, that Thor. God, oh my God, that Thor is, I think, the best sculpture I've ever seen of a superhero. I'm pretty sure that's the best, like, most dynamic thing I've ever seen. If you haven't seen it, go to Sideshow and check out it's a preview for their new Thor. And if I didn't have two kids that were going to college in a few years, couple years, I would be all over that thing like crazy. Thanks, man. Oh, Tomas, what's up, dude? What's going on? Thank you. All right. All right, so I have the brush selected, right? Let's go over to here. This is for burnt skin, all right? So this is more subtle. You see that? Let's make it smaller. So let's say, like, he has some burnt skin. You just get some really nice stuff, right? But that's, I don't know how this picks up on the screen, so let me go to something a little more hardcore. Let's go to this brush. This one is crazy. Now you got to be careful because it'll really kind of pull your mesh around, but look at that. And then you just soften a little bit. Like, that's extreme kind of burnt. Again, it will, I mean, what it's doing is it's like pulling your mesh around big time. So if you don't be careful, like, see how if it looks like it's torn, it's not really torn, it's just kind of folded in on itself. And without double, I do have double turned on. Yeah, it just, you got to smooth it, and that will kind of get rid of that look. But this brush is very cool. Alright, so you can see it's real easy to get just some nice texturing. Now what I would do, this is like the last pass coming in and doing these kind of effects, but what I would do, Tomas, that's Pablo's brush pack for skin. He has some double action brushes, and that one is the Limit Web, I think. Yeah, Limit Web. Here's Skin Bump. Let's see what this one looks like. Was that doing anything? Maybe you have to turn it up. Oh, it's subtle. My brush is too big. Let's see. Yeah, it's subtle, but it's doing it. Yeah. So again, that's like one of the later passes that I would do, but before that, just to get like some really quick texture, I would jump down a subdivision or two and then go to my clay spin. Make sure the intensity is kind of low, and then just actually let's jump up a little bit. Undo that. Okay, D. You can just go in and actually you really want to turn down the intensity. So I don't want to change the form, I just want to add some texturing. Just kind of sketch it in. So I hate when I have that look that's, you know, like super duper smooth. I don't want my stuff to look like a toy. but this is just the clay spin. And using this and then coming back on top of it with maybe Pablo's brushes is really gonna, you know, sell that texture. And then I have some texture XYZ brushes too that I have for the very end, but it's really kind of stupid to use this stuff like before you pose it, because again, it's gonna get lost. That's why most of the time you'll see me working out of symmetry. This is the longest I've stayed in symmetry in a long time. Normally I'm way out earlier than this. Yep. Kink is right. No, I can't get too... This guy's in Eternia, man. It's like a hard knock life in Eternia, you guys. Not everybody is Prince Adam. So if you're living in a giant skull, you know, it's probably, you're going to have some jacked up skin. Don't worry, side effect. Alright, what do I want to do now? You see me staying away from that arm. I'm probably not going to touch that arm until it is, until I figure out the pose. Like I have something that I started, right, which is kind of whack. I just kind of kit bash something together. But I don't, like, obviously, this is what happens when you don't know what the hell you're doing. You just want to throw something in. So that was going to be part of it. Right, this is just the beginning of this bottom part. This bottom part is going to be really super long. So like his arm is probably going to be almost as long as his whole body. But that was just like the elbow joint. And then the bicep is too long, that needs to be shorter. Put some hoses on there, stuff like that. Let's try to do a, see what some lighting looks like. Try a render test here. Sorry, hold on one second. Hey, Dre. Dre. Hey, man, doing a live stream, brother. Can I call you back in like a half? Okay, thanks, man. Bye. Sorry, the client. Alright, what did I say I was going to do? Oh, lighting. Render properties. Shadow. Let's turn up the rays. I wish there was a way, once you set these shadow settings, that they would just stay that way, but you kind of have to do them every time. And then filters. So I usually turn up the shadow rays and blur the shadow a little bit, and then I also hit F3, which will sharpen the render. And then if I come over and do, yeah, I'm getting some speck off the teeth and the eyes. So now what I can do is I can just do a quick render. See what this thing looks like. Drink some coffee and read if anybody on Facebook is saying anything. Only bad clients, let's see. What's up, Hiram? Esteban just graduated from Full Sail. Congratulations. Recommendations for job openings. I do not have any, but I just throw it on Facebook. I'm sure somebody will know something. Yeah, so here we go. I usually light him from the bottom since that he catches the speck off his teeth and his eyes. It just makes it look a little more creepy. But let's get in there. Dr. Dre. No. I used to talk to rappers. I haven't talked to any rappers in a long time because I haven't really painted anything for them since that Def Jam book. It's been a while. Let's turn this around. Everybody I know is all old school anyway. No, I didn't do FUBU. I was at Echo doing t-shirts. In fact, the guy that just called me is we used to work together at Echo. And so Echo, and then started doing wrappers for like if you go to my site Mike T Artworks, you'll see a whole lot of stuff from magazines and books and stuff like that. Hip hop is dead. How dare you? Where's my band hammer? Oh, you mean now? No, hip hop is not good now. Old school stuff is good. I got into it with my family on a road trip. They were listening to something like, and now you know I'm getting older. I don't want to like. I'm sure there's people in here who are fans of Cardi B and some of these other people, but it's not really my thing. So my family was listening to one of her tracks, and I was just like, can we just please cut this off, please? So I shouldn't say that. She might need something. She'd be like, I'm not going to use that guy because he was talking garbage about me on the ZBrush stream. I know Cardi B is a big fan of Pixelogic. How do you balance work, personal art, family life? I don't do it very well at all. It's not very, there's no balance at all. When you color him some minor tints of green, oh yeah, totally. Nah, I can't wait to paint this guy. It's gonna be real. Nah, said it. Nah, I agree. I completely agree. Alright, yeah, so it's my face now, I think, is where I want it to be. He's looking kind of like a White Walker type of a thing. He's got a Frankenstein kind of a thing going on here. These boots are still, you can see I didn't delete the feet, and the boots are in a little bit of a different position. You know what I could do? Let's take these leather pants and detail those a little bit. How much time do I have? Oh good, half an hour, that's perfect. Yeah, so I went and kind of sketched up the boots and then went into Maya and re-topoed them. So it's like way too clean right now, but dirty them up, figure out what I'm going to do to those. But in the meantime, let's get on these pans. Alright, so I got this dynamic subdivision. I think I'll apply it. Yep. Okay. Do I have polygroups? Yes, that's perfect. All right. I just want to affect the inside group here, and in fact I'm going to turn off my lighting, or not lighting. I'm going to turn off the texture so I can see what I'm doing. There you go. What do I want to use? I think I'll just go with the standard. It's not enough divisions to it though. Let's divide one more time. Maybe twice. Whoa, 1.8. Even though my computer can handle it now, I don't like to divide up into ridiculous numbers. I have like flashbacks of my machine freezing. And as you know, I never freeze. Do you have a Twitch link? Yeah. Yeah, I do. Oh, my memory is here. All right. I don't know why UPS are like ninjas. They refuse to ring a doorbell. They just like leave something on your doorstep and then tiptoe away. So the only reason I know is I get those alerts. All right. My Twitch is 2K. Yeah. Yeah, please, everybody subscribe to that, because I'm starting to stream on my own, and I have the same kind of hookup where it does Twitch and YouTube at the same time. So I'm in here roughly twice a month, but I'm going to be doing my own streams, probably at least that, coming up soon. So please join me on Twitch. On all my other stuff, everything is usually at Mike T Artworks, but like Instagram, and definitely need people to follow me on Instagram so I can, that's usually where I tell folks what I'm doing. Let's turn off this alpha. That might be my problem. Move out of the way. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'm a big Keyshot fan. I just started doing renders in, well, I just really started getting into Substance. So, find something. Usually I do Keyshot stuff, but this is not the right folder. This one? Yeah, this one. Hold on one second. Alright, so this is Iray, which I don't normally like because I have a hard time getting the aperture right, but Iray is pretty good. Keyshot, I use it a lot because of the bridge. It's really easy to get a nice ZBrush to Keyshot render. And then I also started using the Marmoset tool bag stuff too, because I want to do the 3D turnarounds. Can you post me on here too? Wait, can you post it on here too? Post what on here? Never mind, found it. Just gave you a follow. Oh, thanks, man. Oops. So I'm guessing these things are going to be like sewn leather or something. So I'm just going to start to give it that look. This to be too deep. Should probably figure out the, I want there to be some like puckering and stuff going on here, so I'm sorry, my daughter just got home from work, so she's going to be busting in here any second now.
Do you have to pick up Chris?
I'm streaming right now, baby. I do have to get him. Can you close my door? Thank you. Hey, no problem. Technique I use for such hard, smooth surface. This was done using ZModeler, and then I just kind of come in on top in detail. So I'm able to put in, you know, edge loops and creasing and stuff like that to just have some really serious control over my, you know, my hard surfacey like stuff. And I'm not really, like I said, I'm not really a hard surface guy at all. I have friends that just do robots and, you know, hard surface stuff all day. I got a friend of mine that he even made an application called Box Cutter that that's really no joke when it comes to making that stuff, but I'm not, you know, I'm not really that heavy into it. ZModeler does everything I need it to do, let's put it that way. And then it's just using the H-polish to keep it all clean. I actually came from the fashion industry, so that's why when I'm making clothes and stuff, I'm very particular about, you know, seams and wrinkles and things like that. And I do have Marvelous, but I'm just not great at it yet. It's a lot easier just for me to sculpt stuff. So that's what I'm doing for now. I've seen some amazing Marvelous work though. There's guys that just do really sick Marvelous pieces. The other thing too is, if anybody knows, like, or has a really good technique, once I ZRemesh it, you know, I can keep the details, but I lose my UVs, so it's almost like, what's really the point? You know, I know there's people who are, you know, have it figured out, but I just don't have it figured out yet. Going from Marvelous to ZBrush. All right, and I know I have breaking like the cardinal rule by putting symmetry on this when I'm sculpting these wrinkles. Like, you totally would not have this looking so samey, but again, I can fix that later. You can see this clay spin for me is kind of like my Swiss Army knife. I use it for everything. How am I doing on time? Let's see. How about knocking? How about you respect my friggin' privacy? No, she's good. She got the car back in one piece. She doesn't need to knock. Dad's just don't understand. Hey, thanks, Tomas. No way to keep UVs if you remesh. No idea about UVs is a thing. There's people that do it. I mean, I don't know. You know what it is? It's really nice to have just the patterns with super clean UVs. Like, you can go in after the fact in UV, but if I stretch this out, it's going to look all, you know, wobbly everywhere. I just like the idea of having, I really like the idea of having like super clean UVs, like the way they come out of, Marvelous at first. I saw a video, a guy did do a thing where he projected the pattern UVs onto the sculpted UVs in Maya, which was cool, but the whole thing about that is what happens? I totally just lost my train of thought. I had a problem with, oh, I know what it is. I have difficulty with the seam splitting even after I weld them. So I'll bring it in from Marvelous and weld the seams. And sometimes they just, you know, there's certain places where if I smooth, they just kind of come apart. If I do that technique I was just talking about, that the dude kind of did the projection. Alright. So, a little less stiff, right? It's not quite so stiff anymore. Alright, what else do I want to do? These things have the pads. Let's cut those. Alright, is there anything else I want to do to this? Let me see. What if this to look like bike shorts. Alright, you can't even see that. I mean, it's kind of there, so it's not bad. So there's a cut. That. That's not bad. Using mouse. Oh, I do have to pick up my son from camp. I'm tripping. All right, guys, I might actually have to wrap this up a little bit early because I have to get my son from camp. Alright, I'm going to do this inflate, and then I think I'm going to call it for the day. Let's inflate from only the one side. All right, let's see. You're gonna have to use the teleportation, bruh. We committed. All right. Hey, thanks. Side effects. Stay with us. Play the full longer. Please don't leave. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. How about we do this? Subscribe to my Twitch, and I'll do more. I'll pick up a Twitch maybe like tomorrow or what is today? Wednesday. Today's Wednesday, right? Tomorrow or Friday. So let me just type it in one more time. It's all right. So if you already are, then you're gonna know. You'll get an alert saying Mike T is about to do his thing. Hop online. All right, so let's take a quick look at this, right? Those are definitely looking better. Let's put the texture back on. Yeah, that'll work. All right, ooh, let's get rid of that robot arm. That's still embarrassing. Get that later. So I'll do one more. Let's do, I'll tell you what, let's do this, and then I gotta go. Let's move him over here. Let's do a couple of, like a turnaround thing. So let's get a render. Maybe like, oops, not like that. Let's get a render like this. Hey, thank you, Frankiometry. Blands. Let's see what's going on Facebook. Move this, move this. Thanks, Nick. Only bad clients. Thanks, Marcos. Hiram. Alright, guys. Alright, so there's one. So now I'm going to, this is a thing I do all the time just to have a little something to post. I'm going to bake this and create a new layer. Draw out a new guy, T. Let's make this a little bit larger. Maybe do him at an angle with perspective turned on. See those little wrinkles, man, just adding little details to the pants. I mean, that looks so much better now. It just looked like geometry, like this thing on his shoulder, and you know, this big shoulder pad. Those, when you detail, it looks so much better. All right, so let's get some lighting maybe from below, like right, yeah, right there is good. Do a render of this. What's the Twitch? No, it's right here. Mike T2K. Mike T2K. It's not gaming. I'll be doing more of this. More of the sculpting and going into Substance Painter and taking it into Toolbox and like plugging in all the stuff to get really nice renders. Alright, so then layer, let's bake this one. And I would do one more. Let me move this over. Tell you what, let's move this over here. Oops. Alright, and let's do one more layer. Create. Out. T. And let's render this one. Yeah, so I guess I'll pick it up on my Twitch, and then what I don't do on there, I'll do on my next session for ZBL. All right. right, so there's layer and bake, bake. Right, so now what I can do is I can export this document or this image. Let's call this live stream progress. And then if I go into Photoshop, I can crop it and use that as promo, like Facebook or something. Right, load, open, desktop. Where is it? Document export, where's it saving it? Oh, I see. My bad. Trapjaw. Boom. All right. So now I can just crop it. And post. All right, so I hope you guys had a good time hanging out, and definitely I will keep it going. Gonna continue to work on this guy on my stream, and then I'll pick him up what I haven't done in 2 weeks when I come back. All right, so just about that time. I timed that perfectly, and my son is going to be sitting around waiting for me. But I'll check you next time. See ya. Stop stream. Peace, guys.